Well done to Kabam. They've come up with new ideas for their endgame content. Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. We're going to be talking about the Reunion Crucible event, which is turning out to be a more of a permanent type of event. And Kabam's kind of overview of this was quite good. I think one of the things I'm going to struggle with, I think, is the complexity. I do have this tendency of getting quite bored very easily with stuff that kind of requires too much thinking. This is why I do spreadsheets, because it's not just a thing about helping everyone else out, it's also helping myself out get a little bit more organized and structured around, you know, different options champions to take on different content. This is why I create options, because it's providing options. A lot of you will go, well, I know how to play this champion against this other champion, but I want to know who in my roster I can use, and not just one singular champion, many champions that are able to take on the particular content. This does require, the repetition side of things is an issue that I've definitely seen in stuff like Necropolis. This is why I think it becomes boring for me, and hopefully this changes the way that I perceive it, but also other people. So the Crucible event is going to be having a normal and legendary difficulty, which is going to be good. I think there will be... I'm definitely going to do the normal difficulty first and kind of figure out whether or not I like it or not, and also figure out my tolerance level for it. But also figure out how to balance it between other pieces of content, in that you can go and do this particular content, but also do others. You will have to make decisions about, right, if I've used, you know, Kate Bishop, as Karate Mike puts it, and then go, right, well, if I bring in Hercules, I can't use Kate Bishop ever again. Now, that's an issue if you're looking for a counter for a particular boss. And especially if you're, like, planning your route, you will have to go into places like Act 7 and go, okay, I'm planning this champion, this champion, this champion, this champion, for the bosses. So, you know, you'll have to pre-plan, but you'll also have to think about variations. Like, I cannot use, you'll have to say to yourself, I want to use King Groot against Kang. Okay, this version of Kang, by the way, the normal version of Kang, but I can't use him against Superior Kang, or the other, whatever the other Kang's called. Like, I can't make that decision. I can't use them both. But you could use a 5-star version Ascended and a 6-star version as well. I think that's how what Kabam John was saying that you could do. Now, that is going to require a little bit of thinking, but also it will be planning. And this is why I think I'm going to create a spreadsheet to go, well, here's some options. Here's scenario 1, and like a million different options against each individual fights. But then you could go another route with it and say, okay, so here's all the enemies. Here are 10 champions per enemy boss that I can use as counters. And they don't overlap. You might even have to make some decisions about ranking up certain champions. Like, you might be like, okay, well, if I bring up about 4 or 5 champions that are 6-star or 7-star to a higher rank, I can then go and counter those particular ones. And that's where I think your learning curve for this is going to come into play as to structure. So you've definitely got to confirm a lot of who you're going to be binning off to kind of do this, and it does require some hefty thinking, really, with it. So very much the kind of name of the game is good luck, and especially when you've got different types of extras to think about. Every 20 seconds, the defender's health is instantly restored to full. Any debuffs on them are removed. This cannot be prevented with ability accuracy reduction. Incinerate and shock debuffs prevent this regeneration. So it kind of limits you who you're going to be taking on against this. Like, instant access to shock-based champions, that may be the way to go. Not for all of them. This is just like a random thing. You're going to have that extra layer of complexity of thought. I'm not one for, like, you know, having to read a novel before having to do something in game. But it is what it is with it. Anyway, there's a lot more that meets the eye between a normal and legendary difficulty as to how you choose to play, because there's more fights. a bit more of like info on this, and just to read out a few things actually taken from my stream recap video with Crucible, is that with it being a new quest, long and boring maybe, yeah. Permanent content, yes. You can do the easy version to get the Deathless, or normal, or legendary if it's too hard. 35 champs for legendary, 15 to 16 fights. Quest type will likely be structured ongoing for those endgame based events. Planning a challenge is knowledge based. It's a reading exercise, yes. Launches on August 7th. And this is the one thing that I like, is the running of teams and kind of being able to do different things. Like, at the moment, I could be in one quest, like a variant, back issues, and then go into apothecary. Like, I can make those decisions about what I choose to do. I could go and grab a revive from somewhere. I could then go into Realm of Legends and grab health potions to help myself through the quest. There are going to be level 3 revives in the quest as well to pick up to help you along the way. And when you go and use one of the choice nodes, you will be able to get back up to full health. That's one thing that I think John said that you were able to do. So when you go in, apart from the, when you go to every individual kind of thing, you go and choose, and say you have, like, I don't know, 10% health, you get fully restored on health. It doesn't, excuse the fact that AI is wonky at times, but at least it kind of is something at the end of the day. Your extras, your objectives will be where you receive stuff to go through. I think Kabam will use this as next Karina's Challenges location for you to kind of go and access. I've got this feeling about it. I've got this feeling. Anyway, path rewards, you do get a load of revives, which isn't too bad. That helps you out. But again, like, you have to be, like, if you make a mistake, you will be punished. Like that's one thing. Like, it's not, you have to be exact. You have to be pinpoint accurate. Like, you have to bring in the right champion for it. And if you don't bring the right champion, then you will find yourself doing either no damage, or it will just won't work out. And that's the thing with it. You have to, I feel that the margin for error is a bit unfair, really. But Kabam are creating a challenge, and you can't have it each way. Kabam want a challenge for players. And you don't have to do this day one. You can do this whenever you like. It's completely up to you on that particular matter with it, but it's definitely going to be fun. But I don't know how you consider what's fun nowadays with MCOC. This to some people is fun. To me, it is actually fun to think about who I'm bringing in. Also, I like Act 7 bosses more than I like Act 8 bosses, except for Gwynmaster. The Gwynmaster is probably the one I hate the most. All the other ones I actually really like. I can't remember. I think that all of them are the most, just fun. And that's good. Act 8 ones just I thought were ass, but unfortunately I had to do them. Yep, launches August 7th, and yeah, we've said about all of the stuff. I think we've covered all the points that have been raised, obviously rewards-wise. I don't know, I thought they were a bit mid, to be honest. The rewards, I personally felt were a bit mid, but depends on how Kabam are kind of gearing this particular difficulty and the general structure. It also looks like on the paths themselves, not just path, well, I don't know if the path reward, path rewards are probably like, oh, you get revives at the end of it, rather than you get it at, so it's just at the end of it, each individual one, which I don't know if, is it 4 times you do that or 2? I think it's 4, but so you might get a lot more kind of rewards, and that's how the questing is going to be structured, that you can go in to do some other PvE content, which is nice. But the reward side of things, I don't know, put in the comments. Like, I'm maybe it's me being a bit off here, but I was like, I personally felt that they were a bit underwhelming. This could be a great option for people that are Paragon to become, without having to do Necropolis, to become a Valiant player. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll think it that way, maybe you won't. Maybe this could be a very interesting opportunity for lower players than that. Maybe, no, I don't know if a Cavalier player, Thronebreaker player would kind of go and do this and go, I have access to I don't know, it's tough, isn't it? And of course you'll need to do it in order to get a reunion token, which I need to double check if you need to spend or not to get all of the reunion tokens, to get the reunion crystal or the reunion 7-star selector. So that's going to be something very much tied to time, maybe tied to money. We will have to see. And it was quite funny because I think in the stream I said I'm covering this stuff, but then I've got a wedding to attend. But someone was like, "Congrats on the wedding." It's like, no, I'm already married. I've been married for 3 blinking years. Next month. That reminds me, I'll go do the anniversary present before I get in trouble. Anyway, I'm editing this video. She didn't get to see that, but we need to sort that out. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. What are your thoughts on the Reunion Crucible? Could be fun. Looks relatively fun. Rewards, not quite sure about, but something to think about. Are you going to do a lot of thinking about your RichTheMan plan to take it on? Well, have you say in the comments. Bye.